Having such a good time. Having a ball. Oh god, this place does not look fun. Well, at least there's these things. These things have never led me astray. Oh god. Okay, let's attack this guy. I missed? Oh god. Okay, a little bit of improvisation. There we go. Beautiful. I'll try and make the game somewhat scary, even though, to be perfectly honest, I've memorized every single enemy spawn location in this game because I played hardcore, and you basically have to on that mode. I would not recommend playing hardcore, by the way, unless you've played the game at least 3 times, I would say. Like, you need to have a pretty good understanding of every area of the game before I'd recommend attempting that kind of playthrough. Also, what am I doing? I just talked about how the stomping works, and I've already forgotten. So where are those guys again? There we go. There, okay, there's the 3 of them. Sorry, it's just, I'm in a Dead Space 1 mindset, I guess, even though it has been a year, but, yeah. Again, just stomp every corpse and you'll be right as rain. Unlike the corpses, which will be not right as rain. Sweet. And there's the, if you just missed it right there, the game actually just gave you the little gameplay hint that told you to actually attack corpses. And you can also punch heads off, which is never gets old, that one. They put this one in the perfect position, just head level, like, just murder them already. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so, I don't know what the hell was going on in this ship, but it looks like a lot. Looks like a cavalcade of fun over here. What the hell? Why are we getting plasma energy shots? What, for what possible reason would we need those? I like how Isaac's picking them up, just knowing that he's gonna find one of them eventually. Speak of the devil. Yeah, let's just get this guy out of here and maybe claim a weapon or 2.
Calm down. I'll cut you out of there. Is that a tissue laser? A plasma cutter?
Oh, my favorite word in the English language.
Fuck.
Besides fuck, which we say a lot. By the way, we can actually have the ability to talk. I guess we weren't scared shitless in this game. Or not as scared shitless. Well, this guy won't be scared shitless anymore, but this guy will be dead anyway. Avenged. Did you see how fast this thing fires? This is a level 1 plasma cutter. Dead. Hardest difficulty. Who gives a shit? Yeah, so as you can see, the shooting in this game, they definitely made it more of a shooter than Dead Space 1, which was much more slower, methodical. Like, I'd say it's not that far out of Dead Space 1 levels, but because basically they just made it so everything's sped up. So, like, reloading is almost instantaneous, as you saw. Like, this reloading speed is almost as fast as the maxed out reload speed from Dead Space 1, and the shooting as well, the handling, the mouse aiming is fantastic in this game, because in Dead Space 1, it is really weird, like, it's really slow, but they fine-tuned it for the PC version with the mouse, and it's perfect now, so no complaints here. Yeah, just see how fast, like, the reloads are. It's ludicrous. One thing I want to point out as well is that each plasma, basically all the ammo you get on Zealot is halved. So, I'll let Dana talk, sorry.
I know. I've had a lot of practice.
Yeah, really.
Thanks.
So yeah, Zealot actually halves the ammo that you get, so normally you'd get 6 rounds per plasma cutter drop, but unfortunately on Zealot you only get 3, which is more than enough, don't worry. Oh, go to save station. Oh my god, it actually... Can I press up? Oh my god, I can't. Dude, that sucks. Okay, well, I guess... Maybe I'll just find, like, an editing trick so I don't actually have to go down and save every single time, like, or at least you don't have to watch me do that and blur out the screen every time. Oh, don't worry, I'll pull some editing magic out of my hat. And, yeah. I'll try again. See? Seamless. I know what I'm doing. And by know what I'm doing, I mean there's something behind here. Damn it. Okay, I know there's something behind one of them. Trust me. Oh, this is pretty. One thing, again, I have to point out is just how fantastic the environments are in this game, because essentially they've gone from, instead of being on a mining ship where basically everything is its own, it's basically just gray and brown, unfortunately, for the whole thing, which is fine, because like the Ishimura still had a lot of like different areas that like they all felt unique from each other, but anyway, so instead of taking place on a mining ship in this game, it actually takes place on a, basically it's almost like a mall of sorts. It has just... There we go. It's basically just a mall of sorts, so like it has everything. It's just like, it's a colony, essentially. So they do all sorts of mad science experiments on this thing, and also there's like hospitals and apartments, and it's the whole shebang. It's essentially a city in space, so it makes the setting a lot more interesting for what you're going to be encountering, because there's all sorts of places that are going to be corrupted beyond repair. And Dead Space 3 as well, which I'm not going to get into too much because we're on 2 right now, same as not getting into 2 while I was playing 1. Dead Space 3 also has an interesting setting that's also different from the other 2 games, so it's cool. Every game in this trilogy has its own flavor, which is really cool. Got it! Take off the limbs. Got it, got it, got it. Oh. Wait a minute, did I? Oh, I'm pretty sure I got the limbs off the other guys. No, now I'm curious, damn it. Did I forget again? No, of course I didn't forget. I'm Isaac Clarke. What am I thinking? I would never forget. By the way, let's just pull up our rig inventory. So as you can see, the inventory is identical. It's literally the same screen. They didn't have to change it because, again, Dead Space Visceral just absolutely had everything going for them with Dead Space 1, and they just made a perfect game. So they basically didn't need to change any of this. So yeah, the inventory is the same. Stacks of 25 for the plasma cutter, which obviously we're going to be using. Air lasts 120 seconds unupgraded in this game, which is fantastic considering it was, I believe, 60 seconds unupgraded in Dead Space 1. You also have power nodes, credits, again, functions the same. Missions, I've never seen this screen at all because this is a linear action game. You don't really need to look at that. And you can also look at all of the audio logs and text logs and stuff you've run into over the course of the game. And tutorials if you're unfamiliar with how the game works. Is that going to bring up the inventory? Perfect. Okay, let's move on. Oh, God. Yeah, things are not too happy on this place. Also, one tip I can give is that you can kinesis anything. So if you're worried about heading into a room or something, or if you see something in the distance that you can grab, then just remember that you can grab it with kinesis, and you can do it at a safe distance as well. Text logs return, and I won't be looking at them too much, but is that? That kind of looks like Dr. Kyne from the last game, kind of, but there's no way he would be here. He's long dead. Or is he? No, he's dead. Don't worry about it. Let's just hope that all the people that died on the Ishimura stay dead. Let's just say that. Oh. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to be following that crazy guy, but considering we're surrounded by crazy dead people, maybe we should trust the only crazy alive guy we see. No, wait! Hold the door! Hold the door! Well, so much for that.
Your fucking route didn't work. Security lockdown.
I told you to hurry.
God, he's just like Jack. He's a total mute in the first game, and then as soon as he gets his voice box, he's using it to swear. Swear up a storm. Oh God, I missed a shot. Oh God, I'm not a true Dead Space player. Let's just grab this real quick. There we go. There we go. Oh god. Beautiful. Two birds with one stone.
Dana! Okay, you're right. I do need your help. Talk to me.
Look, Isaac, we don't have to be friends. But like it or not, we're stuck together. Tideman's your enemy, not me. Alright.
Yeah, I guess so.
Fine. So where the hell am I? How did another necromorph outbreak get started?
You're on Titan Station orbiting Saturn.
Physics are hilarious, by the way.
Shit! Tideman's jamming my signal.
Anyway, so here's the first power node. I'll just go around to the other side because it's where the game wants you to grab it from. As you can see, the it's pretty forgiving with the how far away from an item you have to be. Like, we were through that desk and we could grab this. But power nodes, again, obviously you're going to want to pick them up. You can buy them from the shop for 10,000 credits, or you can just straight up find them in the environment. And there's a lot hidden in this game. A lot more than Dead Space 1, that's for absolutely sure. So checking the environment is a great, just like, every nook and cranny is a great way to find either a big credit cache or, more often than not, a power node, so it's extremely useful. In fact, we're going to be able to get a whopping 5 power nodes before we get to the first bench, so keep your eyes out, because there are 5 in this prologue section for you to collect. Okay, let's move on. Triad room. It's not even dawn yet. Get out of my way. I can't get over how ridiculous the physics are. 60 hours in. Can't even get it. 60 hours in? Holy crap. We're on part like 400 right now and we haven't even gone past the prologue. Shattered Matrix. Oh god. I don't know what you had to do to shatter the Matrix, but whatever. You know, let's just get out of here. I don't want to touch that stuff. Let's go. Are you kidding me? Fine. Guess I better go stick my hand to dangerous machinery. So, what Dead Space 2 adds to the fray is actually a hacking minigame, and it's extremely simple. Essentially, all you have to do is just rotate the dial here until you find the blue. It's like picking a lock, and then once you find the blue 3 times, you're out. Oh, Jesus. By the way, word of warning, you have to stasis this guy. If you do not stasis him, like, on a first playthrough, you'd just think that you wouldn't have to stasis him because he's already stasised, but trust me, if you don't stasis him, he kills you. So, yeah, just a word of warning. Stasis that guy, otherwise it won't be pretty. Anyway, stasis returns, again, functions identical, and one thing they've actually added in this game is because the devs noticed that people didn't really use stasis on enemies that much, even though that was something they wanted them to do. In Dead Space 1, so essentially what they did is they made it so stasis will recharge slowly over time. It's pretty slow. It's like every couple of minutes you'll get another, oh, Jesus Christ. You're gonna be fine. Oh, apparently not. You just collapsed. Cool. So, again, stasis will recharge over time, which is super handy because, oh, that's not what I want. There we go. Because it actually encourages you to use it more often. Speaking of brand new, this is one of the new necromorph types. Spitters, we'll call them, I guess. I can't remember what their actual name is. Defilers, actually, I think is their canon name. I can't remember. Anyway, so these guys are a pain in the ass because they are... First off, they're pretty slow. They can run, but they, more often than not, they'll just limp towards you, and they actually have a projectile. They're one of the few necromorphs that actually do have a projectile to use against you, and if that projectile hits you, you will start burning up and walking slowly, and I think it does chip damage as well, so definitely avoid getting hit by one of their spitballs because it is not fun having to move slow. See, there, if you just looked on the stasis thing, just recharged a little bit just from walking around, so it's extremely handy. We'll be able to find stasis recharges still around the space station, but just knowing that it will always be recharging over time really helps.
What the fuck?
My thoughts exactly. Oh, fuck. Hi. Jesus! Oh, I've heard of bad breakups, but this is on a whole other level. Oh, that makes me so mad! There we go. Oh god, the force of that punch knocked over that plant. Wonderful. Anyway, if we look around here, we can actually find another power node. There it is. Again, I've memorized them, don't worry. And, locator, where we go? Perfect, over there. So let's go the exact opposite way. It's a dead end, never mind. No birthday party for you. Oxygen in use, no smoking. Okay. I'm sure that won't be a problem. Oh god. Again. God, Isaac's potty mouth is the best. Anyway, so another new gameplay mechanic is actually airlocks. So when airlocks activate, which you can actually use to your advantage to maybe take out a couple enemies with you, that one I don't believe has the chance to kill you, or if it does, then you'd have to be an idiot to let it kill you. But if you have to hit the red thing above the door to close the airlock, and if you don't, then you'll die. So that one was just a little taste. We'll be in much more harrowing situations later that will involve airlocks, as you'll soon see. Also, again, another mechanic they brought back from Dead Space is enemies love to play dead, because as you can see, this guy has all of his limbs, and I don't know, it's just kind of like lying on the ground like nothing's the matter. So let's just wake him up, shall we? There we go. Nice try. Here are our power node holders. Like how Isaac casually murdered that thing, and I'm just like, anyway, here's power nodes. 1,000 credits, wonderful, and sure, let's save our game again. Why not? Okay, and here's what we've been longing to see, a store. Let's get the hell out of this straitjacket. So. Oh, thank you. So, one thing that I need to point out is one real shitty thing that EA did. Surprise, surprise, EA did something shitty. It's an act of kindness, but at the same time it's a curse. Because basically for the PC version, they did not provide any DLC for the PC version. You could not purchase any DLC for seemingly no reason. So instead, when the game hit its like 1-year anniversary or something, EA had the kind remark of saying, okay, tell you what, for all use on PC because you didn't get the DLC, here's all the DLC for free. And we're just gonna clog the shit out of your store, whether you like it or not. Whether you're on a new game, whether you're on hardcore, you just have all access to all these overpowered weapons. And they're all free, they're all zero. So it's really, really silly. I'd be totally fine with this if they had a fourth tab in the shop that was just DLC weapons, but they don't. So they just toss it all in the shop, and you're expected to just, like, yes, because me personally, I would never in a million years rely on this. I won't be relying on these for the playthrough. I didn't rely on them for my hardcore playthrough. I would never stoop to such a low as using DLC weapons that are better for this horror game that's supposed to like challenge you. So that's just a really shitty thing they did. Like, again, it would have been fine if they had a fourth tab that was just all the DLC, but they just shoved it into the store. You can even get suits too for $0. It's just ludicrous. I cannot believe they did this. What a complete clog of the screen. So anyway, have to stress, I absolutely will not be relying on any of this. One thing I will is the refurbished plasma cutter, because this is actually a reward for having a Dead Space save file. So sure, we'll purchase that, because as far as I'm aware, I believe the refurbished plasma cutter is actually just a skin. So it's not even that big of a deal. Oh, do not buy that, Isaac, please. Can I, like, how do I move over to the other tabs? Oh, there we go. So yeah, if we go to the safe, inventory, refurbished plasma cutter. Man, I kind of don't even want that, actually. I kind of like, I don't know. Oh wait, we can sell it. Sweet. Okay, there we go. Let's just stick with the regular plasma cutter. I actually like the look of the new one. Anyway, let's go back to the shop. And anyway, so the engineering suit. Again, you can get a forged engineering suit for 15% more healing with health packs. It's like, no, I'm not using DLC. Screw you. Let's actually use the suits that the game intends you to use. And the first one, obviously, is the engineering suit for 1,000 credits. Sorry for that little mini rant. It's always bothered me so much that, like, oh, they just give you all the DLC weapons. They're all free, so just use them and just completely break any challenge in the game. Even on hardcore, it's just like, what were they thinking? An act of kindness, and it's an act of dickery. Speaking of dickery. Dickery talk! That's not even anything. Anyway, so here's our engineering suit, and it looks snazzy as hell in this game, so, yeah, basically a fully decked out engineering suit from the end of Dead Space 2, Dead Space 1, sorry. And that's a little bit more comfortable than a straitjacket, don't you think? Anyway, so I don't believe we actually have access to any other weapons right now. Yeah, I think it's just the just that engineering suit, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure practically everything in this game you need to find schematics to make. So so stuff like the other weapons and stuff we'll actually have to find and then purchase, which is fine, because they're usually in the way. Like, and by usually in the way, I mean always in the way, so it's really not a big deal. Anyway, let's save again. Sweet. Okay, moving on.